Hello, Packers fans, wherever you may be. Welcome to another edition of the Pack Attack Cast. Excited to bring you the final episode of our series where we take a look at the positions going into training camp and how we predict that they're going to roll out onto the starting lineup. We're going to cover that for most of this stream, but I wanted to give a quick shout out to a player that I wish was a fan of the program, maybe someday. Jordan Love marries Ronika Stone on Sunday. We're recording this on Tuesday, so congratulations to the couple. Jordan Love engaged to Ronika last summer, and they followed through, and they've had their nuptials. So congratulations to the couple. I'm assuming they're taking some time away from the limelight to get a honeymoon under their belt. Ronika herself is a professional athlete. She's a professional volleyball player in San Diego. So she understands the pressures of being a professional athlete. She's a great partner for Jordan Love. They've been very supportive of each other in their professional endeavors. So I think this is only going to be a positive for Jordan Love as he has one less thing to worry about outside of football. He's got a great relationship hopefully ahead of him. So we wish him and Ronika the best. Would be great if we could see her out there for training camp. I've already encouraged my wife to go out and make friends with Ronika if they ever brush paths, as that would be selfishly a great way for us to maybe get Jordan Love to join our podcast, all kidding aside. But let's go to the Green Bay Packers and the tight end and linebacker positions. These are the last positions that we're going to cover prior to the start of training camp. I know we haven't covered special teams here, but there really isn't a lot of things to cover with regard to special teams. Our kickers and punters are both established, and the players that are going to play special teams on the punt return and kick return teams and their defensive equivalents are going to be decided in training camp based on who doesn't make key starting positions on the active roster, as it always turns out. So we're not going to look at special teams now. Maybe at the end of training camp, we'll take a look at special teams before the start of the regular season, just to see who makes those special teams squads that don't have active player positions locked up. All those depth players that are so critical for the roster end up inevitably playing on special teams just to get out a full squad together. But let's look at our tight ends first. As always, we're going to highlight the coach for each position because we find those very important to the quality of the play on the field, the valuable coaching that the players get off the field in practice. A lot of it comes down to the coach, and I really like to emphasize that. So we have John Dunn. He's our tight ends coach. He was promoted to tight ends coach in 2022, so this will be his third year as tight ends coach. He originally joined the team on March 2021 as a senior analyst. He's helped tutor such Packer tight ends as Luke Musgrave, Tucker Kraft, Robert Tonyan, and also for the New York Jets, he mentored Chris Herndon as he returned to finish number 3 on the team in receptions. So he has a history of not only with the Packers, but with other squads coaching the position. He's a very experienced tight end coach, and he's a great, valuable addition to the team. He also served as an offensive coordinator for the University of Connecticut in 2018, and he also served 2 seasons in the NFL with the Chicago Bears. So he understands the offensive coordinator role since he had the job in 2018. He also played in the NFL for 2 seasons. So definitely a quality tight end coach for a great quality tight end group that is really a group that's really on the verge of potential greatness in the NFL. And we'll talk about that a little later. First of all, we have Tucker Kraft. He's a yard after the catch machine, and he has the ability to be a top 10 tight end if he gets more targets in 2025. He's a valued target and even sees action in the running game in short yardage. Tucker Kraft was seen multiple times running the Packers equivalent of the tush push in short yardage, and he was very effective in that role. So we might see some of that this year, although, as we talked about the wide receiver position, that we might have Savion Williams actually jump in and be that short yardage surprise player in the backfield. Wouldn't surprise me at all. But Tucker Kraft is great with yard after the catch. He could catch the ball short and make big plays by bowling down defenders. And he is an integral part of this offense. I think he will only continue to grow, especially with a healthy Jordan Love this year, being more effective in the passing game. Next up, we have Luke Musgrave, who was a second-round pick in 2023, but hasn't been able to stay on the field. He missed 6 games in 2023. He missed 10 games in 2024. If he can stay on the field, he has the traits of high-quality move tight end. So in an ideal world with Musgrave healthy, the Packers could play more 12 personnel and be very efficient coming out of that 12 personnel set with Musgrave and Kraft as members of that 12 personnel group. Next up, we have Ben Sims. Ben Sims is a true blocking tight end with limited upside as a receiver. If Luke Musgrave is taking away snaps from any player, it's probably going to be Ben Sims. Next up, it's going to be John Fitzpatrick. He's a solid blocker with some ability as a receiver on an outlet on passing downs, but he doesn't. Neither Sims or Fitzpatrick have the physical tools that Luke Musgrave has. So again, if Musgrave is healthy, I think he's going to take snaps away from anybody else on the roster that is not Tucker Kraft. Also in camp, we have Johnny Limpkin. He's really a camp body, in my opinion, trying to make maybe the practice squad in 2025. So how do I think this group will shake out? I think we're going to have 3 tight ends on the active roster. It's going to be Kraft, Musgrave, and the best in training camp of Fitzpatrick and Sims. Those 2 players, I think, are battling for the number 3 active roster spot for tight ends. And we're going to have 1 probably on the practice squad. I think it's going to be the loser of that Fitzpatrick-Sims battle will probably end up on the practice squad, because there is a lot of value of having an additional body on the practice squad at the position, given Musgrave's injury history. So next up, I want to switch over to the linebacker group. This is a group that really has potential to take this defense to the second level. We know that we've got elite play out of Edgerrin Cooper in limited snaps last year. If he plays a full set of snaps this year, I think Edgerrin Cooper is going to be in the conversation for a Pro Bowl slot. He definitely has that potential. And if we could get some more players in addition to Cooper to step up to the next level, this could be a very dangerous group that, combined with an improved pass rush, can really take the Packers to where I think they will end up being, which is a top 5 defense in 2025. But let's talk about their linebackers coach. We have Sean Duggan. He's been working as a defensive assistant for the past year, but this will be his second season working with. This is his first season working with the linebackers. So he's been with this group for 3 years, but he has extensive experience. Prior to Coaching for the Green Bay Packers, he worked with our defensive coordinator at Boston College. He was a linebacker coach and a co-defensive coordinator in 2023 for Boston College. Prior to his time coaching at Boston College, he was a defensive assistant at Ohio State and coached linebackers at University of Massachusetts and University of Hawaii. He began his coaching career at Boston College. He also was a player at Boston College and showed up in 45 career games and was a captain in 2014. So this is not just a linebackers coach. This is a guy who has experience as a co-defensive coordinator. He has great experience working with the Packers defensive coordinator over many years, which really helps him have a feel for what the defensive coordinator is looking to get out of the linebackers. So I'm very excited to see if he can be a quality impact for the linebackers for the Green Bay Packers in 2025. For this group, we've got Edgerrin Cooper. It took Cooper for a while to get on the field as a second-round pick in 2024, but when he got on the field, he was a playmaker as a tackler, pass rusher, and in pass coverage with one amazing interception. You got to watch that interception to see the true greatness that Edgerrin Cooper has in coverage. He was a Rookie of the Month in November and December, and I expect him to be a leader in snaps on the defense in 2025 and will rarely come off the field. Look for Cooper to be a regular highlight reel player in 2025. I remember distinctly in November and December when he was on the field consistently, how he became an impact player for the Green Bay Packers. Every time you saw highlight reels for the Packers, it was Edgerrin Cooper making plays. If he does that for the whole season, he's a big part of the reason that I'm predicting the Packers will go from being a top 10 defense in 2024 to a top 5 defense in 2025. That's my prediction, and I'm going to stick with it. Next up, we have Quay Walker. Quay Walker is an enigma. He has the skill and athletic ability, but seems to have trouble in his first 3 years putting that together on the field. Sometimes Quay Walker's physical ability seems to be limited by his mental ability to understand his role in the defense. That changed in the second half of 2024, where he played his best football in that span. Can he take his improvement at the end of 2024 and play that way all of 2025? If you have a high level playing Quay Walker along with Cooper in that linebacker team group, that's going to be a very tough thing for opponents to deal with, play in and play out. So I'm very excited about seeing Quay Walker and Cooper play together. Sadly, in 2024, when Quay Walker started to put it together, Edgerrin Cooper was not on the field consistently. And when Cooper was on the field, Quay Walker was dealing with some injuries. So I'd love to see those two players on the field at the same time. I think this could be really special for the Green Bay Packers in 2025. Next up, we have Isaiah McDuffie. McDuffie is a smart and effective player against the run. He makes smart plays against the run and will be a third back on early downs. He is a liability in pass coverage, which is why you're going to see McDuffie mostly on early rundowns for this defense. He's shown the ability to sub in at all the linebacker roles when needed. Just don't let him get matched up against a speedy tight end. That's where he tends to struggle. So on early downs, McDuffie's going to be in there as your third linebacker. On passing downs, the Packers are expected to go with two linebackers. That would be Quay and Cooper. And if Quay and Cooper are both out there on passing downs, that is going to be very dangerous for quarterbacks that think they can make some plays in the middle of the field. So I'm very excited about seeing those two together. Next up, we have Tyron Hopper. He was a third-round pick in 2024. Did not see the field very much. But when he did, he was above average against the run and average in coverage. He only saw 18 snaps in 2024. He needs to make an impact as a depth player in 2025 to keep his roster spot. So where I see Tyron Hopper playing in 2025, barring an injury, is the best case scenario is maybe he plays to a level where he ends up being that third linebacker on rundowns, takes the job from McDuffie, or he spells Quay Walker and Cooper in situations where they need to take a break off the field, or worst case scenario, there might be an injury for Cooper or Quay Walker. So knock on wood, Cooper and Walker are healthy the whole season, and maybe Hopper can play into being that third linebacker on early downs. That's probably his best opportunity in 2025. Next up, we have Isaiah Simmons. He's a veteran, but his true place is really on special teams. He's a free agent signee from the Giants last year, where he was great on special teams. I expect Simmons to be a depth option for this linebacker group, but really to make his hay as a special teams ace, as we saw with the Giants. Next up, we have Christian Welch. He's a quality depth player that flashed in the preseason last year. I remember there was a really big push by a lot of analysts to get him onto the active roster in 2024. That did not happen. He went on to play with other teams, came back this season for training camp. I expect him to possibly be on the practice squad for this group in 2025. Last up, we have Jamon Dumas-Johnson. I think he's going to be a camp body as an undrafted free agent. He might be playing to get a practice squad spot, so it could be between Dumas-Johnson and Welch for that practice squad spot for linebacker in 2025. So who do I expect to be on the active roster? I think we're going to have 5 players at linebacker on the active roster. It's going to be Edgerrin Cooper, Quay Walker, Isaiah McDuffie, Tyron Hopper, and Isaiah Simmons as depth and as a special teamer. And I expect one of the players, likely Welch, to be on the practice squad and able to be called up in the event of an injury. So those are my thoughts on both the tight end position and the linebacker position going into training camp. This is going to be a shorter video because we're only talking about 2 position groups that don't really have a lot to talk about, because I think most of the pecking order is already set going into training camp. It's really people fighting for practice squad spots at these 2 positions. Very excited about training camp. I will be there for the first 3 practices for training camp, as well as the owners meeting. I will be reporting on all of those activities for you. So please give us a like and subscribe, and continue to subscribe to this channel. We're trying to get to 3,000 maybe by the end of training camp, and possibly get to 5,000 subscribers by the start of the NFL season. That would be a huge win for us as a new channel. So please give us a like and subscribe. I'm going to be back in just a couple days. I'm going to talk about the top 5 reasons why the players, top 5 things that could cause the Packers to get to the Super Bowl. And then after that, we're going to talk about the top 5 things that could cause the Packers not to make it to the Super Bowl, because I believe that it is Super Bowl or bust for this team. All the signs are there. The depth is there. The young players gaining experience and taking their game to the next level are all there. And I really believe it is Super Bowl or bust for your Green Bay Packers this year. So we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons why it might happen and the top 5 reasons why it might not happen in our next video. So please give us a like and subscribe if you want to see that commentary in the next week or so. Looking forward to talking to you then. As always, go Pack Go.